Hi everybody, it's Janice, and yes, I'm back. 2 videos in one day. Amazing. I want to show and tell. These are my new Distress inks from Tim Holtz, the new colors, the seasonal colors. You know, there's tons of videos on these and the techniques haven't changed, but I have a really good friend, Tecia, who joined us for our crop on Saturday at Michael's, and she was asking about these, and I was in the middle of doing a bunch of things, and Robin showed her some things, but you know, Robin said, oh, you know, you have some videos and maybe she should look at the videos. So I just wanted to do one specifically for Tecia. So this is for you, my dear. And Naya, she brought her darling daughter who is amazing at scrapbooking. So good job, ladies. Let me show you some things, what I use them for. I think these are great because they can do so many things, and this ink stays wet longer than most markers do. So I'm going to show you. You should store them sideways, by the way. So that's what I do. They do come in, when you buy the whole set, they come in this great little tube. Okay, let's begin. I used my Cricut Artiste for this. Okay, I've been making cards with this right here. There's that cupcake with this cupcake. Okay, and I used it on my last layout with the Cassie turning 9 years old, that layout. So what I did was I cut it, I believe, see, it tells you right here. The cartridge, Cricut Artiste, comes with 3 stamp sets, which is an amazing value, really is. And this one happens to be, you know, a birthday themed one, and it's this stamp right here. Now, you can do this with an ink pad, but it really is very simple when you use your markers. So I'm going to go ahead and use the picked raspberry and my favorite color, the peacock feathers. And look how cool this is. First of all, I'm going to take the cuts off, and on the stamp set it tells you what page in the book it is. So page 69, it says it right there, page 69. Oh, if you can see it. Can you see that? Page 69 right there, and then it tells you 2 inches. So all of the pieces were cut at 2 inches. And I got this from Carol Horton. She's my close to my heart lady. She's great. So, like I said, I was going to take these off. Totally out of practice. See what I mean? I'm like scatterbrained. And we do have a tool to take these off, but just doing it the hard way today. Okay, and then another recommendation, when you use stamps, it's good to give yourself a little bit of cushion underneath. Just going to a little more light here. See if we can get some more light. So there's the base of the cupcake. Let's do the frosting first. I'm going to use the picked raspberries. And you can do this with any stamp. I mean, I could use a different stamp to do the background for this, or to do the stamping. Anyone will work, but look what I'm doing. I'm just simply coloring directly on the stamp. And if you get some, you know, where you don't want it, just wipe it away. And then you just line it up over your image. I love that. Okay, so see? And then now I would just add some glitter or glossy accents or whatever, however you want to finish this off. Another thing I like to do is kind of finish off my edges. So I take the brush tip again and just go up the sides and just color them. Kind of color them in, that's it. That's cool. Then we'll do the wrapper, and then you just clean it. Before I do the wrapper, I'm just going to get my little wet wipes. them in a Tupperware because I needed the container for a game that I was making. I needed a cylinder container, so that's why they're in a Tupperware container. Kind of an odd way to keep your wet wipes, but that's the reason. Okay, so now I'm going to use the peacock feathers and do the same thing on the bottom. And they stay wet for a while, so that's kind of cool. And again, you know, if you want to be really neat, I mean, I generally am not, but if you want to be persnickety about it, then you can do that. Just clean it off. And we line it up. I'm standing up to do this. It does help to stand up. Okay, and so there. Isn't that cool? And then if you want to do the same thing again, and just kind of go around the entire thing, you can. And just kind of like finish off the edges. And then this gets lined up onto the base piece. Like this. I like to pop the frosting up with dimensional adhesive, you know, like foam squares or something. You can color the bottom to make it look like yellow cake. You can use your distress ink for that, but you know, if you're not investing in both, if you're just going to go one or the other, just use your markers then. And the rest is not even going to be visible, so see that? And that looks like yellow cake underneath. And add a little bling, a red bling for a cherry, or a pom-pom would be really cute too. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing you can do is you can stamp a background. Let's clean this off. Take it off and put it back over here. I have this background. It looks dirty, but that's because I've used permanent ink and I haven't cleaned it off. But there is stamp cleaner for that. I just haven't done it. Okay, so like say if I want these flowers all to be a different color, these come in really, really handy for that. So let's do different shades of blue. Or let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take the, let's do that. Okay, I'm going to use the brush tip. There is a fine tip to these, and they're great for journaling. It's plastic so they don't fray, so I like that. So you just take it and color on here. And I got some on the centers, so before I put yellow on there, I'm going to clean it off because I don't like to contaminate them. Even though, you know, supposedly you can't contaminate them, but it's a little scary to me, so I just don't do it. And again, we're just going to keep, and you would think, oh my gosh, you know, hurry up, the ink is drying. It really is okay. You'll see. You probably don't want to see me color this whole thing. I should have done the yellow first. these centers. Okay, and then now we'll add these yellow. This is the squeezed lemonade. And I got it on there. So what I'm going to do is just scribble to get it off. Then I'm going to go back and just make sure I get it right all the way up to the tip. I'm going to do them all in this color. It's kind of cool. So you can mix colors too. Again, if you're concerned that your marker is contaminated, then you can just do that, scribble it off. So I'm going to huff on it. Okay, and there you have it. You have a very cool background, and they're all different colors. And see how this one kind of, you know, I forgot to put in the color there. That's okay, you know. And then it's neat because you can actually spray this with this is just plain water. And watch, I can stamp it again. And now it looks a little more watercolory. And then I could use that for a title or for journaling or something like that. I'll just put that aside and dry and just clean it off. So I love that. I think I like the watercolory look for this one even better. See the comparison? They're both pretty. I love it. Then another thing that you can do that I really, really like, there's this other stamp set that close to my heart carries that's called Framework Alphabet. And it is an E-size stamp set, but it comes in on two sheets. And so let's just take the letter A, for instance. In fact, let's do it. Well, this is probably too wet still. I'll just get a different piece of paper. I am going to take this and I'm going to stamp it. And I learned that you can emboss with VersaFine ink, heat emboss. If you're not familiar with heat embossing, I'll show you what it is. You need clear embossing powder. You don't have to do this embossing. I'm just showing you because I just watched a video a few days ago on this. So I'm using, like I said, it's called the VersaFine Onyx Black. And it's an oily ink. But it really has a very nice dark, crisp image, and you can use it to emboss on. I didn't realize that until I watched somebody's video. And then you take a heat tool, not a blow dryer. It's got to be a heat tool because it's got to be hotter than a blow dryer. And you just melt that embossing powder away. This is just the Ranger Distress tool. Heat tool. Takes a little bit longer to heat emboss with this one. I'm not exactly the most patient person. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there it is. And now I can I'm going to take two colors and I'm going to blend them together. I'm going to get my water brush. There we go. Okay, so let's use this Salty Ocean and this awesome squeezed lemonade. I'm going to apply the salty ocean to the top. And the squeezed lemonade to the bottom. And then I'm going to take the water and I'm going to blend the two in the center. It's going to make a green color. And then we just dry it off with our heat gun. And it looks so cool and so watercolory. See, isn't that neat? Like I could add a little bit more water to this and give it some droplets, and then it'll look even more watercolory. So there you have it, Tecia. There's 4 things maybe that you can do with those Distress ink markers. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.